This is the Fifine Game SC8 Audio Mixer for game streaming, mixing your audio, all of that. And it's a sort of a replacement slash upgrade to their original SC3, which I've already reviewed earlier. You can check out the review on my channel here. But anyway, this is the upgrade, a few more features, a few more buttons, a bit more fancier. So let's do an unboxing. Check it out, give it a road test, and see if the SC8 from Fifine is any good. Okay, so here we go. I know I've got my focus thing on the camera. Apologies for that. But this is the SC8 game from Fifine, as you can see there. And we've got switchable RGB, game chat biasing mixer, and 7.1 virtual surround. And then it's USB plug and play, one press mute, and 4 EQ modes. In terms of what's in the box, obviously you've got a nice manual, which we'll look at in more detail later. And then here is the main event, nicely packaged there. It's bigger than I thought, even though I can see the box. Actually, yeah, it's bigger, much bigger than the SC3, definitely. And I'll do a comparison later. And then you've got some wires in the box as well. It feels quite plasticky. Again, apologies for the focus buttons on the screen there. It feels quite plasticky, but at the same time, quite robust. And it's a good size. Yeah, it's pretty well built, I'd say, even though it's sort of all plastic and quite lightweight. It still feels pretty well built. USB-A to USB-C here. You see they've got a little switchable adapter there from USB-A to USB-C, which is always very useful, and a nice long lead as well. And then there is a 3.5mm to 3.5mm audio jack lead as well for plugging in audio devices into the back as well. And basically that's what's in the box. So as mentioned, this is a replacement for the SC3 audio mixer that they had, which was a lot of fun with these sliders and stuff like that. And just for comparison, I'll put it side by side. You can see that the new one here is much bigger. So it's a much bigger affair. Again, same sort of plasticky material to it, but ultimately it's much bigger. So that's something to consider in terms of your desk space, where it's going to sit on your desk. For instance, my son still prefers this smaller one because of the amount of space on his desk. But for me, this is a good size. I'm going to have it on my desk. I quite like having the fancy lights just flashing about like that. And I'm recording this right now using the Fifine Tank 1 XLR microphone. Take this off here. So this is the Fifine Tank 1 XLR, and that XLR is going straight into this audio mixer here at the back. So I'm actually recording this video using a Fifine microphone and the SC8 audio mixer. Let's go through some of the basic knobs and stuff that we've got. So we've got dials as opposed to the sliders that we had before. At the top here, you can see the indicator. So the voice indicator, and there we are. If I go too loud, you see it goes into the red there. So you can sort of set the monitor there, the gain, how much you want it. So I can take the mic right down. Hear what I'm saying? Now I can bring it up like that. It's too loud maybe. And you just find the right kind of level for you. That's quite good. But also if you depress it, there we are. You can still see the indicator flashing then, but it was muted. And you can see the light to indicate that it's muted there. So that's quite good. The same on the auxiliary one, same on the output. Yeah, so all have this extra functionality where if you press, they will mute whatever device that you've got. So we've got the game chat here. So depending on if you're playing, you want how loud you want the chat in your ear or how much you want the game in your ear, you can turn this dial here and you'll see it's indicated up here. So obviously it's going towards more the chat in your headphones, and this is going towards more of the game. So if you want to lower the game in your headphones, then you can use this dial here. And then your sort of general output here. You can see again, you can see the indicator as I turn the output dial here. how loud the output is going to be. And again, you've got, when you're in the red, you know, maybe it's a little bit too loud and stuff like that. And then if you've got an auxiliary device in here, which I'll come to later, again, the same sort of things. Using this dial here is also indicated at the top there when you're using it, like that. So if you've got any auxiliaries in there. And then you can monitor your mic. So you can put your headset into the back here, and then you can monitor your mic. And again, you'll be able to kind of set the gain of the mic just to get the levels right and stuff like that when you're monitoring your mic. Take that off there. And also when you're monitoring your mic, you'll see the monitor in your headphones. You can see here, you can see the sound is indicated in your headphones when you're monitoring the mic. So these should look sort of the same there. Take that off and you're good. And you'll notice though, these can be different colors, but when you press any of them, it goes a white light. So if, for instance, I needed 48 volts phantom power, depending what mic you've got, you could press that. 7.1, you can see there the equalizers, the 3 different kind of equalizing settings: gaming, music, and movies. You can see the light here. If I gaming, music, movies, and then take it off. But you see the way the light goes brighter there. Hopefully you can see that there to know that, indicate that it's on. So those are the main knobs there. Then, as I said, across the top, you've got mic monitoring, 48 volt phantom, depending on what mic you've got. So if your mic needs that extra 48 volts phantom power, some mics do, some XLR mics do, then you're going to need to press that. If you want to hear things in 7.1 surround, then you've got that button here as well. So some games, some movies that may produce 7.1, it will give you a sort of a fake 7.1 sort of sound effect and stuff like that. I think the jury's out on how effective that ultimately is, but you've got that option there. And then, as I said, the equalization. I found the equalization actually quite good. I quite like the settings that they've got there. They're not over the top or too sort of grating. So I quite like the fact that you've got the different equalization settings, but you don't have to have it at all on there. You can't do your own custom setting, but it's just nice to have those. Then at the bottom here, you've got these different custom buttons, so you can have custom sounds. Let me just put my headphones on so I can hear myself. Yeah, if you press this button here, in your face. There we are. Very hilarious. This will come through the mic monitor, so the mic sound. So it kind of replaces what you're saying. So it's not sort of it's not coming through the desktop sound, it's coming through the mic sound, if that makes sense. And it's very easy to do. All you need to do is to press it down and then say something like, Fifine products are so lovely. And then if I press this button again, Fifine products are so lovely. I'll just clip the beginning there, but you need to give it a time. Let's do that one again. Fifine products are so lovely. Fifine products are so lovely. Fifine products are so... You get the idea. So super easy, a lot of fun. I'm just going to take the monitoring off because it annoys me when I hear my own voice. Just hang those there. So yeah, you've got that kind of extra customization with making kind of various amusing sounds and stuff like that. And I think you can record. You don't have to be in your own voice, but it's just really easy to do a quick sort of sample of your own voice there and record that thing there. And as I said, you've got, just in terms of the mic, it's worth mentioning, you've got 50 decibels of gain on here and 48 volt power for XLR mics that need it, as I said. And then on the back, if we run through the back, starting with the XLR interface, so any of the Fifine mics or any XLR Fifine mics, but any of the Fifine XLR mics, like the Tank 3, the K668, the Tank 1, the AM8, I've got all these mics. They'll all go in there with XLR, so you can use that. Really, really useful. Important thing to remember is you'll see here this button. Make sure you switch it to whether it's a dynamic or a condenser mic. So condenser mics might need that extra 48 volt power. But yeah, make sure you switch to the dynamic mic if that's what you have. And then if you're using a headset, then you use this socket here. And again, that could be the H9 or the new H13, which I've recently reviewed as well. Plug that in, and then again, it's going to pick up the mic from that, and you'll be able to hear the sound from that as well. Auxiliary in, so if you've got another desktop, a tablet, phone, another audio mixer even, or a laptop, that can go in there. And then your headphone socket, which I had here, so I was using the monitoring ones that they have. I think they're called the H9s. They're studio monitor ones. I was plugged that in there, and then you can hear yourself. And then there's an digital optical in. So for instance, you can use that with a TV or a PlayStation. So this is compatible with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. You can plug it in there. And then the power cable, which is the OTG/PC connection there for power. And again, if you're going to use the PS4, then make sure you switch the switch there for the PC or PS4 selection, whatever you're going to choose. And then lighting here, this little button at the back here, you can go through the different lighting. So there's loads of different colors. Hopefully my camera is picking those up. Lots of different colors. And then you can have them in sequences. So they sort of fade through these sequences like this, multicolor like that, breathing multicolor, one single sort of flick through kind of single color. That's quite nice actually. A sort of yeah, I quite like that one. That's the sort of more multicolor breathing. There's another breathing one. I like that color. So we're going to have it on that color. I mean, hopefully, let me just block out the light a bit. Might bring out some of the more colors. But anyway, you've got loads of different colors there, which is really nice. And as I said, if you press down on one of them and it's being used, its functionality, it's just bright white. So you know whatever color selection that you have, it will be just that bright white there. So yeah, there you go. Let us go through some of the fun features as well. Back to the headset. So it's got this this fun voice changer. So this is why it's great for game streaming and stuff like that. You can control the game sound, the level of game in your headset or your headphones, the level of the chat in your headphones, and all of that. Obviously, your mic, you can, as I just did then, you can mute your mic instantly, all of that. But you've got the voice changer. So there's an auto changer. Do you believe in the love? Whatever.
Elder, so I always find if I actually put on a voice, I'm really old like that, so you can hear me. I'm an old man.
Now I'm a monster. Either that or I'm asking for a ransom. All robots is said to be a robot. AI will eventually take over.
And Megaphone here. There's nothing to see here. Move along, please. Nothing to see here.
And then a baby, and then the man said to me I could have a lollipop, and I quite like lollipops.
Very creepy. And then this is meant to be a female, maybe a Karen, complaining. I don't think you can park there. This is my car parking space. You can't park there.
And then male. This is meant to be a male. Apparently I'm not male enough. I'm not deep enough to be a male.
Back to auto tune. And then long press and take it all off. Don't do what I did. I recorded this whole video and I didn't realize I had it in auto tune. So I had to redo the whole video again. But there you are. It looks really great on the desk, I think. I mean, I really kind of like the look of it and all of that. Very versatile, lots of fun. Can use different mics with it and stuff like that. So yeah, I really enjoy it. Normally, I have a kind of a non-RGB plain one, much more of a sort of serious, plain, boring one for Fifine. It's there. Let me just check what it is that I have, the other one I have from them. Yeah, it's the SC1 recording USB interface. XLR, instrument input, that's it, nothing more. And I kind of do use that one now and then, but now I've got this, I just like having this. I mean, I don't really game stream that much as my son and stuff, but I do use the mic a lot. And so I need an amp for the XLR to go through. And so I just quite like to have this on the desk. And occasionally if I want to have a bit of fun and monitor things, especially if I do a sort of stream with someone, I've got all that functionality there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And as I said, for the price, for what you're getting here, especially with the Black Friday sales coming up, yeah, it's cost me about 60 quid. So yeah, if you look around, you could probably get it for slightly less than that in the Black Friday sales and the various sales that Fifine do on this. But yeah, A lot of fun. I don't really have any complaints about this. It'd be good to be able to put in some USB mics. I'm not sure whether you can do that, but if you have your computer sort of plugged into that, then you should be able to pick up the mic via that if you've plugged a USB mic into the computer and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, definitely worth having, especially if you've got an XLR mic and you like game streaming and you just want that functionality and then the bit of fun that the voice changer and stuff offers you. So there you go, the SC8 USB audio mixer for PC and PlayStation. Pretty good, worth checking out. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. I hope you found it useful. If you did, then please hit the likes because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content just like this. And if you're new to my channel, then do me the great honor, please. Can you hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I upload videos just like this. And talking of videos just like this, why don't you check out the videos right here? These ones here. I think you like them. Thanks for watching.